Welcome back, everyone, to the Conservative Femme. Today, I want to talk about a very controversial Congresswoman, and her name is Marjorie Greene. She is very controversial. The left likes to call her the QAnon lady. There's so much going on with her since the election, and the left have gone after her hard, and she's spunky. I want to maybe play.
I feel like I'm one of the luckiest people in the world, really, because I've been able to live the American dream. And I very much want my children to be able to have that same American dream. I'm Marjorie Greene, and I'm running for Congress in the 14th District of Georgia. Every morning I get up really early and I go to the gym. It starts my day with hard work, and hard work is something that I believe in. I've never run for office before. I'm a political outsider. I'm not a career politician. I'm a successful business owner. I've spent the past 2 decades running my business alongside my husband, Perry. I've created thousands of jobs, not just in the state of Georgia, but in 11 different states. And if I ran my company the way Congress is running our federal government, I'd be out of business. I'm also a wife and a mom. I've enjoyed raising my 3 kids in the state I love, the state of Georgia. I very much want to take my successful business experience, my faith, and my family values to Washington and work for the good people in the 14th District. AOC wants to plunge us into communism. She is clueless about how capitalism even works. Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Nancy Pelosi, we have them in charge of our hard-earned tax dollars. They have no experience managing a company, taking care of employees, managing a budget that creates a profit. This is the same party that wants to take over our entire healthcare industry. They want to take over our entire energy sector. They want to raise our taxes. They want to murder babies up until the day of birth. And they want to take away our guns. That is coming out of every single Democrat presidential candidate right now. I'm a conservative Republican. I want to reduce our taxes. I do not want to fund abortion. I want to fund the border wall and see it finished. I want to free up healthcare. It needs to be a free market system. President Trump needs more allies in Congress. We have watched him repeatedly be thrown under the bus and not supported. And I'm the kind of Republican that's more interested in helping the American people and working for the American people instead of continuing on with government and not following through with campaign promises. I'm Marjorie Greene, and I approve this message.
So that gives you a little intro into the mind of Marjorie Greene, and she supported President Trump after the controversial election in November. Marjorie Greene's the congresswoman that continued to support Trump in the Electoral College in January. She did so after the Capitol Hill riot and didn't back down. So I'm going to play that for you.
Madam Speaker, I rise to support the objection. I'd like to point out that all of the cases that have been thrown out on standing, not the evidence of voter fraud. I'd also like to point out the same people who for 4 years have failed to find a shred of evidence to convict President Trump of Russian collusion are the same people trying to discredit hardworking American poll watchers who are risking perjury by signing affidavits confirming massive voter fraud in multiple states. The same fake news who took the word of Christine Blasey Ford against Justice Kavanaugh, who her own friends denied happened, also dismissed the sworn under penalty of perjury accounts from people who witnessed the election fraud. The same fact checkers who told you that Dominion machines weren't connected to the internet and couldn't be hacked are the same people telling you that there's been no voter fraud and no violations of election law. But it's been proven that these machines are connected and that they can be hacked. We have heard repeatedly argued that objecting to these ballots is unconstitutional and violates the rights of state legislatures. They would rather us affirm fraud and pass the buck back to states rather than following the process Madison, Hamilton, Jefferson, and the framers of the Constitution designed. When states fail to do their job, we're the last line of defense. Congress is here for this exact situation. We are here to be the fail-safe when states refuse to protect the people's votes. By objecting today, we are telling thousands of witnesses who signed affidavits that we have their back, and we will not allow local officials who violate their own election laws to steal this election from those who lawfully voted. I yield the remainder of my time to the member of North Carolina.
The next thing I want to show you is her defense of President Trump. The 25th Amendment was trying to be invoked, that Trump incited any violence, especially when he said, go peacefully and patriotically to go cheer on those brave congressmen and senators at the Capitol. The 25th Amendment is an argument to say he's not mentally or physically capable of maintaining his position as president. So she obviously, she's not gullible and falls for the media games. So she understood there was a lot more out there to the story. So here is her comments on the 25th Amendment being used against Trump.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to quote the President of the United States. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Go home with peace, with love, and in peace. Remember this day forever. President Donald Trump. I condemn this violence. Republicans have condemned this violence. President Trump has condemned this violence. But elected Democrats over the past year have promoted violence, have supported it. They fund it on their Act Blue fundraising platform. And there has been billions of damage caused over this past year in riots all over this country. You know how many companies have endured violence and destruction? I have 83 pages here of businesses that had property damage, were burned, and through the Minnesota riots. Our president or vice president-elect Kamala Harris posted the Minnesota Freedom Fund bail link, encouraging people to donate money to bail criminals out of jail.
The gentleman's time has expired.
I yield back.
Oh man, Representative Greene is a thorn in the side of these Democrats. She is full of energy and they're not used to that. And it is freaking out the left in Congress. They are trying to slander her and make her sound insane. And to me, she's like the only one in that group that sounds sane. Everything that we're seeing, AOC and the squad sure don't sound sane to me. I'm actually going to hurry up and get you to her argument about the second impeachment of Donald Trump.
I am against the impeachment effort by the Democrats. President Trump has held over 600 rallies in the last 4 years. None of them included assaulting police, destroying businesses, or burning down cities. Democrats have spent all this time endorsing and enabling violent riots that left billions in property damage and 47 dead across the United States. Democrats are on record supporting violence when it serves their cause, in their own words, on social media, on interviews, and on fundraising platforms Act Blue. Democrats support defunding the police when it's someone else's city, someone else's home, and someone else's business. Democrats will take away everyone's guns just as long as they have guards with guns. Democrats' impeachment of President Trump today has now set the standard that they should be removed for their support of violence against the American people. I yield back. Thank you.
I do believe her arguments get better every time. And we can see the Dems are scared. But not for the reasons they say. No, they're scared because it sure appears that Representative Greene is going to speak for her constituents, and she doesn't care what the lefties in Congress and the Senate have to say. And that's refreshing. There's going to be more on this because she is ready to impeach Biden. And that is a whole nother video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification bell. This is your conservative femme signing off.